listening with nature. Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here and to share virtual space and time with you. I'm Helen Frosi and my pronouns are she, her. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm an artist curator, currently living and working in North London. Here I spend most of my time navigating the peri-urban green seams of my local area on various scales, from following weeds spilling out of cracked pavements to walking the rambling marshes of Hackney and Tottenham along the post-industrial vistas of the Lee Valley. This time in and with the environment around me is where I learn the most, listening to what the rivers are saying to us, responding to ancient woodland creatures, and collaborating with the people that frequent these sites, living, loving, and playing nearby. Of course, nature isn't just what we colloquially call the green bits, nor is it something that we are separate from, as we're often led to believe. Sometimes we need to pinch ourselves to remind ourselves that as a species we are included in nature, and our dwelling spaces are as much a part of nature as anthills, termite mounds, squirrel drays and fox dens. We might say that nature is really the web of connection between the environment and all its inhabitants, animate or otherwise. Now, to make a living I have many hats, and I have in the past worked in archives and record management, book buying and as a library worker. I'm here today as an artist curator who has for the last decade or so worked with artists, thinkers and doers who work, make and research in, with, through and about sound, hearing and listening in all its facets, be that creative, cultural, political or other. I'm co-curator of Long Player Day, a typically biannual festival inspired by the work of Jem Finer. Every 2 years we bring people from different disciplines together to explore notions of time, duration and temporality, long-term and ecological thinking. The festival is perambulatory and also blends the distinction between audience and performer. Most of my work is convivial, bringing people together in joy and shared interest. I'm interested in the ideas of sharing experience and skills in reciprocation, but without expectation, and in these moments seeing where ideas flow and how creativity manifests itself. For me, listening is a perfect conduit for sharing and being present with other people and the world around us. Hearing as a sensory perception is so exciting because we not only hear with our ears, but we also hear with our whole bodies. Have you ever felt the vibration of traffic through your feet, or the waves of sound through your body when you're dancing to a sound system? Vibration, associated with our sense of touch, is an extension of the subsonic or bass frequencies of the sonic spectrum. And when we think about listening, we can think of that as an attentiveness to, with, and through sound. It's also a focus that we can work on and train in particular ways. Of course, like language, there are many ways to hear and listen to sound. In fact, as many as there are people in this world. Let me tell you something else. I believe all the senses are connected to one another, to our bodies and to our environment. Imagine hearing a sound that is so interesting that you want to explore it more, but it's not near to you. First you move your head and look around you for clues to where the sound might be coming from. You'll shift your body position to where the sound is louder and closer. The sound you are listening out for is affected by the environment. Hard surfaces may reflect sound, soft or porous substances may absorb or muffle sound. Other aspects of the environment may also be sounding, affecting your focus or your ability to hear your chosen sound all of the time. You cup your hand to your ears to focus the sound into your ear and to the mechanical elements that will eventually turn movement to nerve impulses which the brain will interpret. You might even sniff the air if the sound you are listening out for is associated with, say, an amenity, for example, a cafe or a nail bar. If the sound still interests you, you walk towards the sound, moving your body and head as you go. If we looked at other animals to see how our sensory perceptions are similar in many ways but also different, then we come across all kinds of amazing ways for different bodies to perceive the world through sound and vibration. For example, whilst animals will also hear through their whole bodies, they may focus sound in a variety of ingenious ways. Moths use their mouths to listen, whilst one of their predators, bats, use their wings to become like satellite dishes, focusing their echolocation. Echolocation is made from high-pitched clicks that are highly directional and act as a means to create a sonic picture by the animal using them. At the other end of the spectrum, elephants communicate through subsonic frequencies, listening with their feet. Whale song is passed through water, and so whales' hearing is through their skin. They feel as they listen. Humans are not able to hear most of these animal communications, and so we need technology to slow down, speed up, raise or lower the pitch of a sound to be able to understand it on a human scale. Imagine how we might sound to a songbird or to an ant. Sometimes animal behaviour might be because they are listening. Have you ever seen a cat sit still but move its ears independently up to 180 degrees? Or watched a spider crouch down with its legs tight under its body? In both cases, this allows the creature to focus hearing and listen out for prey, or in some cases, predators. Scientists have also worked with plants, and it's now known that they respond to sound and vibration around them. For example, a tomato plant's stem will vibrate in sympathy with the vibration of a caterpillar eating its leaves. Some plants will even respond with chemical signals to warn other plants nearby. Now we know a little more about how we, as humans, and some of the other inhabitants of our shared planet hear and listen. As we're pressed for time, I'll add some further resources at the end of this session for you to look at in your own time. Moving on, I'm going to offer you a few strategies for listening in the form of fairly open activities. These will assist you to navigate your own way through listening with nature. I say listening with nature because, as I mentioned, we are situated within and through it. There is no listening to from the vantage of elsewhere or outside of nature, but there are many ways to listen with nature.